Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
10 Pokemon that actually exist in real life. We've seen all the Pokemon movies, or better yet, played the games. You know, the game that makes you look like a complete lunatic on your never-ending search for Pokemon. Rumor has it that that's the closest to world peace we've ever come. People running around all united by the same goal gives you the feels. And you know what? I don't completely disagree. For over 20 years, the Pokemon franchise has grown to become one of Nintendo's most beloved concepts. What you may not know is that a lot of your beloved Pokemon, from the expression pocket monsters, are inspired from actual animals. We, however, do not recommend trying to capture them in real life, no matter how adorable you might think they look. Let's meet their real-life counterparts.
Pika pika, pika pika, pika pika, pika pika pika.
Number 10, VENUSAUR. This flower-headed Pokemon comes in two nearly distinct types, poison and grass. Don't let its disarming smile fool you though. The guy is a dominant fighter, all because of its powerful spore attack. Unpredictably, the VENUSAUR isn't the invention of some unhinged animator's imaginings. It's in fact based on an actual flower. And not just any flower. This flower holds a record for itself in the real world. The Rafflesia arnoldi, also sometimes referred to fondly as the corpse flower. This resident of the rainforest of Indonesia is famous for producing the biggest single flower head in the world. It's native to Sumatra and Borneo, and it gets its name, corpse flower, because of its awful smell. To be exact, the smell of rotting flesh. I'd say pretty appropriate for a spore attack. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Number 9, CATERPIE. If you're an avid Pokemon fan, then you recognize CATERPIE as one of Ash's first catches. You might also recognize that CATERPIE is inspired by the caterpillar. The name itself is a pretty good giveaway. He is specifically inspired by the eastern tiger swallowtail caterpillar, more ordinarily referred to as the parsley worm. Their resemblance is quite honestly uncanny. Now, while we all can agree that this little guy does not reign in the battlefield, we can also agree that he might just be darn near the cutest. This little G, however, holds the title of Shield Dust Expert, as well as one of the most lifelike in the whole Pokeverse. Yes, that's a thing. Because, you know, it's quite noticeably a caterpillar. Parsley worms, if the name doesn't already tell you everything you need to know, then yes, these little guys do like themselves a bit of parsley. They also have the characteristic pattern of spots commonly found on CATERPIE. Not quite convinced yet, these worms even have a red antenna peering out of their muzzles, exactly like its Pokemon counterpart. Cute, right? Number 8, POLIWAG. The POLIWAG has mesmerizing whorls on its chest that, according to the Pokemon lore, are its organs exposed through its translucent skin. Would make sense, seeing as it's one of the first water Pokemon. And yes, it would seem that Pokemon too have internal organs. Who would have ever thought? But then again, they do have their own universe. The POLIWAG's real-life counterpart is the rather uneventful tadpole. The tadpole's coil is undeniably composed of its organs, so it's fair enough to say that Pokemon designers got at least that part right. The POLIWAG is a picture-perfect example of Pokemon that exist. The most disappointing fact is that instead of evolving into POLIWAG, real-life tadpole grow into simple, everyday frogs. POLIWAGs are arguably much more appealing and attractive compared to its real-life translucent counterpart. Talk about letting down the team. Number 7, ZIGZAGOON. Now I know what you may be thinking. This third-generation Pokemon bears a striking resemblance to a raccoon. But hold off on the quick assessment and consider this. With a zigzag shape on its coat and a dark mask around its eyes, it's no wonder the ZIGZAGOON is considered quite a weird creature. While it may look to a certain extent like a raccoon, it doesn't exactly match. Its signature zigzag fur coat is further evidence that the Pokemon authors were inspired by a marginally different animal. That's the raccoon dog. an inhabitant of East Asia. It may look slightly like a raccoon, but its pattern is the closest to that of its fictitious colleague. Amusingly, it's considered a possibly hostile species in some nations, which would clarify why there happens to be so many ZIGZAGOON littered everywhere in the Pokeverse. If this level of adorable doesn't make you want to get one as a pet, then I think you have no soul. Number 6. Emolga. The adorable little Emolga. This electric-type Pokemon only comes in one form. The poor guy is unable to evolve, and maybe that's probably for the best. Who would want to outgrow their cuteness after all? Emolga is one of the most endearing imaginary animals to ever show up in a video game. That's pretty high praise. I'd want to retain that top position too. To understand what makes this tiny guy such a heartthrob, you have to understand who its equally adorable counterpart is. Emolga is agonizingly endearing because the Pokemon is modeled from a genuine rodent that, even in the real world, makes everyone melt into uncontainable awes and swooning. We're talking about none other than the flying squirrel. While there are more than 44 types of real-life flying squirrels, Emolga gives the impression that it draws from all of their most delightful qualities. Do not be fooled though, this cute little guy is always ready for a battle. Emolga stores his electricity in these membranes that it uses to fly. One other weapon in its arsenal is the cute puppy eye face it makes that is meant to trap its adversary in his charm. If you don't already know, both the Emolga and flying squirrels do not actually fly. Rather, they glide pretty insane distances, at an upwards of 295 feet at a time. Number 5. SANDSLASH. The SANDSLASH is a lanky mammalian creature with rusty spikes on its back. SANDSLASH's body is shielded by tough spikes, which are toughened segments of its skin. According to Pokemon experts, once a year, the time-worn spikes fall out and are replaced by new ones that sprout from beneath the old ones. Another one of its most notable characteristics is its enormous talons that it uses to burrow into the ground as well as for battle. Not one to run out of tricks, the SANDSLASH has also been known to curl up into a ball to shield itself during attacks. Admittedly, the SANDSLASH looks pretty ferocious, which is exactly what you want when you're going up against rivals. Its real-life counterpart, however, is less extraordinary but is adorable. So that counts for something at least. It's the pangolin. Pangolins have massive claws that they use for tunneling and combat, as well as tough scales made of keratin. Well, at least the creators got all the important bits right. Sadly though, wild pangolins are in danger due to massive hunting and are classified as critically endangered. Interesting though is the fact that pangolin is directly from the Malay words for one who rolls up. And just like its fictional counterpart, the pangolin curls up into a tight ball when in danger. Number 4. KROOKODILE. You're probably thinking about how easy this is while holding your Pikachu pillow. Who doesn't know that the KROOKODILE is directly inspired by the crocodile? Every Pokemon fan worth their salt knows that, and we'll hand this one to you. You're partially right. The name plainly points to the crocodile as some type of reptilian animal, and quite possibly a crook. Of course, this is not science, this is just my professional opinion. Well, before you run off screaming victory from the hilltops, we might have to disappoint you. While the KROOKODILE does resemble a standard crocodile, it's most likely inspired by a somewhat different breed of the crocodile. Nothing is quite as easy as you hope it is, huh? We're referring to the gharial, an Indian fish-eating crocodile with an elongated, slim muzzle. At some point in time, gharial was found all over India, but unluckily their numbers have been dwindled due to hunting and destruction of forest cover. Just like the pangolin, these guys have been listed as critically endangered. Number 3. Drowsy. This rather regrettably named Pokemon is one of the OGs, the originals. Drowsy was among one of the first 100 Pokemon to show up, and to this day remains a favorite. Hear me out, the dude transforms into Hypno. If that doesn't make you love him, you are either cold or heartless, or you have lost your sense of childlike wonder. I think there's no two ways about it. So who, or rather what, exactly is Drowsy? Well, he is a shadowy-looking Pokemon inspired by Baku. In Japanese, the name Baku bears two meanings. One is a Malaysian tapir, which is a vegan pig. The second one is a bit more ominous. It's a fabled Japanese creature that enters people's nightmares and scares them. What you may find surprising is the fact that he is very kind. Quite the contradiction. While Drowsy may look like an anteater, he's inspired by an even rarer long-snouted animal known as the Malaysian tapir. Tapirs may not have the keenest sense of sight, but they have an incredibly sharp sense of scent and hearing. This is definitely what inspired Drowsy's psychic power. It also doesn't hurt that actual Malaysian tapir look just like actual Pokemon. It's not hard to see why the creators took one look at tapirs and instantly thought of animating them. I mean, can you even help yourself? And with that, it's now time for today's best pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on our future video. Number 2. Bulbasaur. This adorable little guy is a dual-type Pokemon. He is both grass and a poison Pokemon. Bulbasaur has been around for quite some time, since the first generation to be exact. He is inspired by a frog, but is actually a reptile. Bulbasaur has the particular body qualities as those of a frog, except the obvious distinction of having a bulb on his back. They aren't, however, born with the bulb on their backs. There is a plant seed on its back from the day it's born, and the seed gradually grows bigger and bigger till it becomes a full bulb. The bulb keeps growing progressively larger as it becomes fully grown. In the bulb, there's a seed that is the Pokemon's source of power. The seed uses photosynthesis to consistently give energy to the Bulbasaur. The bulb also acts as storage for the Bulbasaur's energy that the seed absorbs, for use whenever necessary. And a fascinating tidbit, when a Bulbasaur amasses adequate energy in its bulb, it will evolve into an Ivysaur. Number 1. Gorbis. We'll admit that there's a lot we still don't get about the Gorbis. First and foremost, what's up with the shells? Last time we checked, they were exclusively for mermaids. What's more, its most potent attack is terribly hard to counter with those adorable lashed eyes. Don't let that fool you though. In the half second you are entranced by its eyes, it will stab you with its nose and suck out the life-giving fluids. Ouch. It's only when you get to see the real-life creature that inspired the Gorbis that you'll get to truly understand its truly disturbing origins and edge. This Pokemon is created based on an equally deadly animal referred to as the long-nosed Chimera. We're not going to lie, this guy is as scary as they come. It's one of those deep-sea animals that makes you think that if there's a hell, then they must be what rules it. Equally fascinating and petrifying details about the long-nosed Chimera is that their eyes are naturally black and empty. But if you happen to catch one, and we're not sure why you'd do that, and for some reason take them out of the water, their eyeballs change color. They don't turn to some nice flowery color, they turn into an unnerving, fluorescent green. While we're not sure whether Gorbis shares this disturbing ability, we're also not sure we ever want to find out.